Hello, everybody, and welcome to Enjoy English. This is Bernice.
This is Shane.
And today we are looking at day 2 of Yas Island, an oasis in the desert. A whole new world is coming to Yas Island.
Yeah.
So we talked about Yas Island, what it has already, which is plenty. There's lots of things there that are exciting and for adventure and entertaining.
Yeah.
But a whole new world is coming there.
没错。
Let's find out.
真的是一个 whole new world, a whole new world. 好，又想唱歌了，怎么搞的呢？好的，所以我们要讲的这个就是雅思岛。沙漠上面的这个娱乐绿洲啦，哈，所以像我们讲过这个 Day One， 大家同学可以知道，这个地方确实呢充满了很多的刺激的地方。你可以看 F1 赛车，你可以 shopping， 你可以到海滩上面去好好的这个休闲一下。哇，对，所以确实很棒很棒的一个地方。
Cool. All right, so let's get into the article.
Yes.
Yas Island, an oasis in the desert. Today, Yas Island welcomes millions of visitors each year. In spite of all its impressive attractions, the island's expansion is far from over. Soon, it will become the site of Disney Abu Dhabi, the world's 7th Disney theme park resort. Disney Abu Dhabi is a new waterfront resort that promises to bring the magic of Disney to the region like never before. It will feature a one-of-a-kind modern castle, groundbreaking technology, and themed accommodations. What sets this project apart is the Walt Disney Company's partnership with the Miral Group, an Abu Dhabi-based leisure and entertainment company. Besides Tokyo Disney Resort, this is a rare instance of Disney working with another company to develop and operate its theme parks. Located within a 4-hour flight of 1/3 of the world's population, the UAE is a major gateway for tourism. Thanks to this advantage, Yas Island has grown into a world-class destination that continues to draw visitors from around the globe.
Okay, so let's jump right into the article. Dive in. Sorry, dive in, not jump in.
直接跳进去。
This is diving. So today, Yas Island welcomes millions of visitors each year. Okay, so it welcomes them, of course, when there's going to be tourism involved. The country that has the tourist attractions is going to want tourists to come there. So, of course, they welcome them. And it's millions of visitors each year. So it's becoming a very popular tourist place.
没错，所以呢，在了今天呢，这个雅思岛呢 welcomes 就是 attracts 啦，它欢迎，它也吸引了每一年呢好几百万的这些观光客。
But it's got a lot more to come.
当然不止的。
Yeah, you think there's a lot of people going there now. Just wait until you find out. Okay, so in spite of all its impressive attractions, the island's expansion is far from over.
Wow.
Now, an expansion is just a growth or making something bigger than it is already.
Yes.
So to expand would be the verb, and to expand just means to grow in size. So an expansion is this growth in size.
没错，所以老师刚刚介绍它的动词啦 ，expand 就是指呢这个东西要慢慢的扩张或者是变大的意思。所以呢 ，in spite of 这是一个介系词的片语，就等于 despite 啊，尽管如此，尽管呢在这一个雅思岛上有这么多让人觉得很有吸引力的这些景点呢，可是这个岛呢目前现在要开始做这样的一个拓展，可是它的拓展呢 is far from over。 be far from 意思就是还绝对没有，好，相反的意思。所以本来是 is over， 就是已经结束了 ，is finished。可是这边是还没有 finished。
It's far,
对，所以
far from finished.
对，所以你记得你的 far from 后面你可以接形容词啦，你也可以接名词啦，好像这边的话就是接 over 这样的一个形容词，所以它是还没有结束哦。
Oh, get ready. Soon it will become the site of Disney.
喂，真的迪士尼来了。
Abu Dhabi, the world's 7th Disney theme park resort.
哦，第7个。
Two
in America, right?
There's 2 in America,
Yeah.
yes. There's one on the West Coast and one on the East Coast of the United States of America.
没错。
Yes. So this is going to be the 7th one worldwide with the resorts and everything. Woo!
Yeah.
That is a whole theme park resort.
OK.
So Disney in Abu Dhabi. What else can we say? I mean, that is gigantic. That's going to make this place a tourist dreamland.
Yeah， 对，真的是好，所以不久之后呢，马上呢，我们的迪士尼的乐园呢，阿布达比版的迪士尼乐园所在地也就会在这个地方了。所以 the site of site 就是指某一个事情发生的那个点啦，哈。那么它是全世界呢这个第7座的迪士尼主题乐园。所以我们刚刚讲了，美国有2个嘛，一个好像在上海 Paris。我记得有一个
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong，OK， 然后还有一个在哪里
Tokyo.
Tokyo， 对，所以这是第7个
Yeah, something like that.
，Yeah， 第7个，没错。
Yeah, right. Okay. Oh my. So that is pretty impressive. It's the 7th one. And, you know, wherever there's Disney, there's going to be magic.
Yes， 这倒是真的。迪士尼就是创造 magic 的地方。
Yeah. So if they've got that, then I'm pretty impressed. Okay, let's take a short break and we'll be right back.
All right。
Okay, so have you visited how many Disney Worlds or Disneylands?
Just one.
You've only been
Yeah,
to one?
just one.
Let me guess. Hong Kong?
No, in America.
Oh, you went to the one in
Yes,
America?
yeah, in California.
In California,
Yes.
where I'm from. So you went to the one that's right next door to me.
Next door, my gosh.
Well, pretty close. I lived about maybe a 20...
So Mickey Mouse is your neighbor.
A 20-minute drive to Disneyland from
Okay.
where I lived.
Okay,
Yes.
so lucky.
You're so very lucky. So you've been to one. I've been to 1, 2, 3. I've been to both of the Disneylands in the United States, and I've been to Tokyo Disneyland.
Ah.
Yeah, so I've been to 3. So now I want to check out Abu Dhabi because Abu Dhabi not only has Disney World, but it's going to have all this other stuff too.
Yeah, right.
It seems like definitely a tourist paradise. Yeah, okay, so continuing.
All right.
Disney Abu Dhabi is a new waterfront resort that promises to bring the magic of Disney to the region like never before. So it promises to bring, so we know what to promise. When you say something promises to bring, it means that it will definitely bring that thing. It's so sure that it will bring magic that it's like a promise. And a promise, of course, we know just means that, you know, you say you're going to do something and you really mean it. And it's like a promise. You
没错。
promise to do something. Right.
对，所以呢，这个阿布达比版的这个迪士尼乐园呢，它是一个全新的海滨度假区哦。因为它本身嘛，我们知道这个地方就是有很多这个水域呢。好，我们刚刚讲它就是一个绿洲了嘛，对不对？所以 waterfront 就是指这种滨水区，所以呢，它就把这种滨水区的这个 resort， 我们知道是这个度假区的意思哈，所以它就是这个度假区，它把它带进来，而且呢 ，that 这样的一个度假区，它 promise to， 刚刚老师讲的 promise to 就是你承诺，你答应这件事情一定会怎么样，一定会产生或一定会这个发生这件事情，所以他答应什么事情呢？就是他会把这样子的一种我们刚才讲的有迪士尼的地方就会有 magic。 就是把这样的一种魔幻的体验，好，
Yes.
在这个地区带来迪士尼的这个魔幻的体验，而且这个体验是前所未有的体验，而且他 promise 我答应你，我承诺你，我一定会有这样的 magic。
哦，好期待啊！
对呀。
Okay, continuing. It will feature a one-of-a-kind modern castle. Oh,
Okay.
oh, groundbreaking technology and themed accommodations. Oh, so they're going to have a one-of-a-kind modern castle. So something is one-of-a-kind just means it's the only one
Yes.
of its type. There's no other ones like it. So we're used to the traditional castle that we see at Disneyland. I wonder how they're going to modernize it. I wonder how it's going to become a modern castle. That will be pretty exciting. And it's got lots of new technology. And themed accommodations just mean that the accommodations just are the places that you will stay
Yes.
when you are there, like the hotels that you will be at, and they will have themes, like maybe one theme will be Beauty and the Beast, maybe one theme, and they do this also at the Disney World in Florida. They have themed accommodations as well. So, sounds really exciting.
没错，所以呢，他这边就讲了我为什么会把他这样的一个迪士尼的这个魔幻体验带来。他下面就稍微的讲了一些咯。他说呢，他第一个会 feature， 我们知道 feature 就是用什么当做一种特色。它的这个特色呢，就是它会有独一无二。我们刚刚老师讲过的 one of a kind 就是 unique，only one 就这样的一种，所以它会有一种很独特的现代版的城堡。好，然后再来呢，它有这种 ground breaking。我们知道这个 ground 就是指我们这个地面 ，break 就是你把它破土的那个感觉。所以呢，就是好像你把一个东西像破土一般的，所以表示这个东西是非常创新的，很突破的感觉。
很突破的感觉。
对，
Exactly,
所以它用一种创新的这种科技，我们也不晓得可能会有什么样的科技的一些技术在里面，甚至呢，还有我们大家所知道的一些主题住宿啦，就像老师刚才讲的，它里面一定会有 Abu Dhabi 的一些特色的这个房间。好的，如果是你是这个所谓它的 tourists 或是 visitors， 你就可以选择那边的房间来待在那里面。
Oh, so exciting.
真的。
Okay, continuing.
All right.
What sets this project apart is the Walt Disney Company's partnership with the Mural Group, an Abu Dhabi-based leisure and entertainment company. So when you set something apart from other things, it means it's going to be special or unique compared to other places
没错。
that might be like this place originally. But it's going to set it apart. It's going to make it different, make it unique.
没错。
Yes.
对，所以老师刚才讲了 set something apart， 就是让什么东西变得与众不同，跟人家特别不一样的意思。
Right, and this is going to be the partnership. Now, a partnership just means that two people work together. So we are a partnership. We're partners, partners in crime. Partners in crime.
Okay.
No, we are partners for teaching English to y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm using my southern accent of the United States to say y'all
Y'all.
to mean you
Okay.
all.
Yeah.
Y'all. And a partnership is just, two people or two companies,
Yes.
something like that, two entities working together.
没错。
Right.
所以这边讲的这个 partnership 就是指两个人、两个公司、两个企业之间的一个合伙关系的意思啦哈。所以它到底会跟谁来做合伙呢？就是这个计划里面，刚刚老师讲了 set something apart， 就是让它出现一种很与众不同、很独特的地方呢。就是这个 project 呢是要跟这个华特迪士尼公司跟总部位在阿布达比的一个休闲娱乐公司，这两间公司的集团，他们彼此之间的一个伙伴关系，所以他们彼此会合作在一起。所以呢，你可以想象出这个计划是非常的独特的。
Yeah, so it's going to be quite unique.
Yeah.
Especially having this other group get involved with Walt Disney. It's going to be like a collaboration. And the two are going to work together to make something quite unique.
没错。
So that sounds very interesting as well. Okay, so continuing. Besides Tokyo Disney Resort, this is a rare instance of Disney working with another company to develop and operate its theme parks. Oh, okay. So in other words, this means that it has been done before where there's been a partnership, and that was done with Tokyo Disneyland. But the rest of the Disneylands or Disney Worlds have not done that. So this is going to be quite unique. And it says to develop and to operate its theme parks. So to operate something just means to run it, or to make it work, to control how it works, and to control how things are done is to operate.
没错
Yeah,
好
so-
所以这个最后一句话呢，就是说，除了东京迪士尼度假区之外，我们看到这个字 besides， 我们的这个 besides 就是表示包含在里面，也就是说呢，像刚才所讲的这种很罕见的这样的一种合作的这个开发的这个伙伴关系的计划呢，其实东京迪士尼已经有做过了，所以就除了包含这个东京迪士尼度假区之外呢，这一次的这样的一个合作的伙伴关系呢，是一个 rare instance， 就是很罕见的这样的一个例子。好，所以这个例子非常非常的罕见。就是呢，你把这个迪士尼这间公司跟其他的公司呢，两个人去 working with， 就是他跟其他的公司呢去发展出，并且呢要去经营。刚刚老师讲了 ，operate 就是指 run 的意思，你要去经营呢他们这样的一种所谓的主题乐园，确实它是相当罕见的一个案例。
I'm really curious because I went to Tokyo Disneyland. This will show you how old I am. A lot of you will not have been born yet. Most of you will not have been born yet. But in 1997, I went to Tokyo Disneyland, and it didn't have Tokyo Land and Sea, because there's like a Tokyo or Disney World Sea, or I forget what it's called, Disney Sea. But they have a land and sea, and I think this is before they joined up with another group when I went there in 97, because it seemed like a pretty typical Disneyland when I went. But I'll have to look that up. I'm not really sure, or somebody else can look that up. But yeah, so it's pretty interesting to see what they do or how they make a difference, because I still haven't been to Tokyo Disneyland recently. So I'm not even really sure what it's like anymore.
对啦，因为已经很长的时间，Shane 老师去那边已经那么久的时间了，就是可能有些同学都还没出生的时候，他就已经去了。
Okay, let's take a short break and we'll be right back.
OK。
Okay, welcome back, and let's continue the article. Located within a 4-hour flight of 1/3 of the world's population, the UAE is a major getaway for tourism. Okay, so that means 1/3 of the world's population is just 4-hour flights away from here.
From here.
So that means that a lot of people can get there pretty quickly. So in other words, a lot of tourism. So tourism is basically, if you have tourists, what do tourists do? Tourists do? They do tourism.
Yeah.
So tourism is basically the act of being a tourist. You have tourism. Let me do that again.
Too complicated.
I know.
Make it easy, all
Yeah,
right?
sorry. I made it too complicated. Located within a 4-hour flight of 1/3 of the world's population, the UAE is a major getaway for tourism.
Yep.
So that's pretty impressive. If you just take a 4-hour flight, 1/3 of all of the people that live in the world can get to this tourist destination. And tourism is just the noun for being a tourist. It's the action of basically going and being a tourist.
Yeah, right. OK， 所以呢，一开始呢，这边我们看到是一个分词构句了哈，你可以看到它是 located within。你说，老师，那主词怎么不见了？前面 be 动词被省略，你真正的主词就是在逗点后面那个 the UAE 啊，也就是这个阿拉伯联合公国大公国这个地方，就是你的这个主词了。所以这个主词呢，它就位于全球1/3，我们知道 1/3，所以你记得你要讲几分之几的时候呢，比如说1/3，我们的分母是要用序数，你要用 third, fourth, fifth 这样的一个用法。
Six，
然后你的对 six， 然后你的分子呢是用 1, 2, 3, 4。
Right.
OK， 那你超过1，你记得你的分母要加 s， 所以如果是2/3，你要讲 2/3， 要加个 s。对，好，这个是小小的稍微讲一下这个分数的一个英文的表达方式。所以他就说呢，它是位于全球1/3的人口，而且你只需要4个小时的这样的一个航程呢，你就可以到达这个地方了。所以这个阿拉伯联合大公国确实呢是大家这个观光，我们在这个 tourism 就是指观光产业嘛，哈，就大家观光的一个 getaway 就是指你的一个大门，就是出入口的意思啦。
Yeah, and to have a getaway just means that you go on vacation. Sometimes we say to have a getaway. I'm going to go on a getaway. It's just to mean to go on a vacation. So a getaway place is a place where you can take a vacation.
就是你可以去度假的一个地方。
Yeah, okay. All right, continuing. Thanks to this advantage, Yas Island has grown into a world-class destination that continues to draw visitors from around the globe.
Yeah.
Now, the globe just means the earth,
Yes.
and a globe is basically a circular thing. Like you could say a globe could be in the shape of like a ball,
Yes.
right? A globe, right? And the earth is a globe.
Yes, that's true.
So that's what they're talking about, around the globe, meaning around the earth.
Yes.
Yes.
That's true. OK, so thanks to 我们知道当你用到 thanks to 这样的一个片语的时候，就是表示幸亏多亏有这个东西，就是觉得你很感恩、很感谢有这个东西。所以就是因为多亏呢，这一个地方的阿拉伯联合大公国有这样的一个 advantage， 就是一个优势啦。所以呢，这些所谓的雅思岛呢，就是它现在要创造出来，就是这个所谓的绿洲，好，这样的一个沙漠里面的绿洲这样的一个娱乐中心呢，雅思岛已经 grown into 已经发展成为了一个世界级的这个 destination， 好，这个旅游的胜地。而且呢，这样的一个胜地 that 还用后面的冠带来形容这样的一个 world class destination， 它会持续的吸引来自全世界各地的游客。
Yes. All around the globe.
Yes.
Yeah. So are you excited to
Yeah,
maybe
准备好
one
钱就可以
day?
去了。
We just need the money
Yes.
first.
Yes.
So if you want to donate to the Shane and Bernice, go to Abu Dhabi Disney to this fund. You can go to our GoFundMe page on the internet, and you can donate some money.
对，请记得捐献给我们两个。
So we can go.
Okay.
And then we'll tell you all about it, we promise.
All right.
Okay. That's all the time we have for Abu Dhabi Disney. It's so exciting, and we will see you guys next time.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.